Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Joey, and welcome back for another video here on my channel. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys my Nova build that I usually have showcased in a ton of my videos I have here on my channel. Now, this is a frame that I love. Nova is the kind of frame that you could bring into almost any mission type and have success. She's very strong. She provides things such as damage reduction as well as priming with her 1. She can do fantastic AoE damage, as this is a absorption ability, so it will absorb the damage you deal from your weapon, so then it will deal a multiplier of that damage and a big AoE, so you can do big AoE damage. I like the helmet off the 3. The 3 is the teleportation ability. Let me see if I have a config. I could buy a config just to show you guys. The teleportation ability, Wormhole, you can use this to like teleport around the map like this. But for me, this isn't really my kind of thing. I mean, it works really well in the open worlds. It's meta during Plague Star, but really, and like I know people use it in Eidolons now, but aside from that, it's not really worth keeping on to me. So yeah, I take it off. I replace it with Nourish. This is my main build here. Nourish, this is just going to give us viral damage. Also, Null Star is coded as a weapon, so this will also allow Null Star to spread viral damage for us, along with Heat, since we are using Neutron Star. So that's very good. Also, we'll get energy regen from this. We'll get AoE priming. We'll get AoE viral priming. And it's just overall solid, you know. So I go with Nourish here. Molecular Prime, this will give all enemies either speed boost or slow down. You can see I'm only at 70%, the max is 75%. You need around 150% power strength. That is why I have growing power. I'll get into the auras in a minute here, but for right now, I just want to stress that you get 100% damage vulnerability. It's not affected by strength or anything like that. It's always the same amount, so if you're negative, you're positive on strength, it's always going to be the same number, which is really nice. So as far as the build goes here, really, this frame, pretty much everything scales the best with duration. The longer this ability expands and casts outward, scales with duration. The effect of how long they're affected by the speed of the slow scales with duration. The amount of particles that you get for your first ability scales with duration. You can see I have 35 currently with my build. So yeah, those will go down with lesser duration, so it'll be stacked duration. So it's really important to have duration. Efficiency is not important at all. We don't really need it. Range, I would say you don't really need to go for as much range as I want to. Like, if you wanted to drop Arcane Stretch here, you don't really need this if you were to go for the build just how it is here. Personally, I like it though, because I like to use this a lot. I'll reproc the 1 very often and spread the status a lot. So I like the extra range. It's really nice. It gets me up to 13.5 meter radius where I can spread it to, which is solid. And they'll seek out 16.9 on their own, which is really nice. I go for that there, and then we just go for energy pool, energy sustain via our companion with synth deconstruct. We'll have equilibrium here, and then we just have a little bit of range, and then we have duration, our augment for our first ability. Now, you don't need to use this if you don't want to. I thoroughly enjoyed this. It's, like I said, it's really fun to reproc this ability and send out all the particles to do a bunch of priming, a bunch of blast damage, a bunch of viral, a bunch of heat damage as well. It's really, really nice. They can prime 3 elements all by itself, so it's nice to have. And then I just have a bunch of power strength here, PSF, so we don't get knocked down. And then now for auras. For the aura, it's kind of, you could really go for whatever you want. So like I was saying, you only need around 150% strength to max out the speed value from the ult, which can be easily achieved if you just use Materai and you're using Sling Strength right here. So technically, you don't really need Growing Power. Growing Power is kind of just a thing, if you don't want to sling all the time, you could bring Growing Power. It's also going to help with the percentage on this. It'll make this do a bit more damage, but it's really just a slight booster. This is the kind of frame though where like really you could almost go for anything. Like even if you went for, let's say, power donation, you could still go for this and maybe drop stretch for like Augur Secrets, and then with a Sling Strength you'll have enough strength still to max this out. So like you can go for something like that. You could go for Brave Respite if you wanted to make a shield gating setup, if you didn't want to go with Blessing and go with so much HP. That's why we have Blessing here, because it's really all the survivability you need for base SP content. It's just as long as you have a good value on your Null Star, You know, and since it's 6% per, but I'm going to have so many up at one time, you know, then it's still going to be up, so I'll get max damage reduction. This is going to get you around 1500 HP, which is really nice overall, so this is good to have. And then efficiency is going to give us more duration, which we love. And then, yeah, back to auras. So you can go corrosive projection too. Armor is really weak in the game nowadays. You know, you can go this if you want. One corrosive stack is pretty much going to do this much, so you know, it's up to you. And then you have combat discipline if you want to go for an Avenger style. I'll be showing you my disruption build here in a second. You know, you really can go for anything you want. In this, I've done mecha builds with the one. Like, there's a lot of different things you can go for here. It's really diverse. Nova's like the kind of frame where she doesn't really have an aura that is required. Like, you don't really need to run a specific aura. You can kind of just pick whatever you want. So yeah, I have growing hat power here. I just wanted to explain that to you guys a little bit because I see people complain. I saw someone in pubs the other day ripping someone apart for using power donation on Nova, and I just couldn't understand why. It didn't make any sense to me. Yeah, so I don't know. People just will complain about anything. But yeah, I just wanted to say that, in my opinion, you can use pretty much any aura that makes somewhat sense on this frame, and it's totally fine. She's a support. Overall, she's a support frame. She controls the room. She has CC. She keeps herself alive. She tanks. I can provide Nourish to my teammates. So overall, the way I see this frame is a support. So, you know, corrosive projection works. Enemy radar is really nice. Mecha empowered set is nice if you want to do DPS sets. You could go for loot detect. You can go for all this different stuff, and it would be totally fine. You don't need to go for what you think might be the most meta. Everything will work fine. So yeah, now that I covered that, I just wanted to go over my shards. So what I'm running here is I'm just running 1 casting speed, and then if you want to, you can run 4 duration. I just have 1 parkour shard on here because I like the speed. You could just run Praetos if you want to. You can, you know, you do whatever, but I like to run these 3 shards here. So yeah, that's the general build. Now, as far as higher level content goes, I would go for something like this. I'm not saying higher level content as in like base level SP. I'm saying higher level content as in if you want to go to level cap, you bring this. What I would probably say is go for like Aegis here instead of Hotshot. I just had that on. I'm running combat discipline here with Arcane Avenger, combat discipline rank 1, so you know you won't really take any damage. You're not going to have to worry about your actual HP, but you're still going to proc Avenger all the time because you're going to be killing all the time, which is really nice. So then we go for, instead here, we drop some duration off. We go for the double shield regeneration mods. We have prime redirection, so we have 3 mods in total for our survivability plus 1 arcane. This triple mod setup will get you 2 level cap on any frame that has shields. I'm telling you right now, this is probably the best high-level survivability setup in the game. If you want to throw rolling guard on top of this, you'll be unkillable pretty much. I'll just go into my operator once in a while, you know, just to avoid the damage. But yeah, so I just wanted to point that out. And then we just pretty much do the same thing. We have a little bit of duration, EQ plus flow, neutron star. I like to bring this. You don't need to bring this on a build like this. You can go for more duration if you want to, you know, but it's up to you. And then you have blind range for the strength. So yeah, this is more of like a high level cap style. This one does use Zatas, as Zata is just so powerful for double dipping and dealing damage to level cap enemies. Really, really nice. So yeah, we're gonna use that. Also, I have a couple other builds on here. I'm just gonna show you guys this one too, though. This is just my Sunder build. This one, like I said, this one doesn't have Archon Stretch on it. This one uses Thermal Transfer instead. I like to use Growing Power on this one because I want to get the most out of this that I can. You can use this either to bolster heat or you can use this to bolster blast damage overall. I like to use this one when I'm using like my flat heat builds because I don't like to use Nourish on like say like a flat heat weapon where I want the weighting to be super high. So I won't use this. Instead, I'll use this, or I'm sorry, I will use this, and I will just use the heat version of Sunder. I'll get about 155% extra heat, which is really nice. So I like this one too. This is a nice build. You guys can let me know what you guys think though. This is my general Nourish build that I use in almost all my videos. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Leave a like in the comments, subscribe, and thank you for watching.